Regional Wounded Warrior athletes travel to the Aloha State, where they compete for more than gold medals. This is the Regional Health Report. Welcome to the Regional Health Report for December. I'm Ann Krebs. More than 150 sick or injured soldiers and veterans from across the country gather at Schofield Barracks in Oahu, Hawaii for the Warrior Games regional trials. The athletes compete in 12 adaptive sports events where they demonstrate not only their physical skills, but also their resiliency.
One important role adaptive sports plays in the recovery of wounded warriors is the establishment of goals and the realization that goals can be achieved.
The trials are the beginning stages ultimately to push them to go further in the sports. The ultimate goal is to make it to the Army trials and then to make the Army team and go on to represent the Army at the Warrior Games.
The Warrior Games were established in 2010. And every year since, service members and retirees have competed with the full support of the Army and the Department of Defense.
It shows the investment, it shows the care that the Army still has for them. When you invest in a venue like this, you send them all the way to Hawaii to compete. And this, for the first time, we've been able to do it in a more multi-regional fashion. So you have Regional Health Command Atlantic, Regional Health Command Central, Regional Health Command Pacific. And for all three regional health commands to compete at the same time, the worth, the value that each one of our soldiers in transition felt from that is nothing short of spectacular. When I look at what the soldiers have gone through, their willingness to continue to forge ahead, test themselves, push themselves beyond the limit from what they may have thought they were capable of, it's awe-inspiring, and I'm deeply humbled.
Wounded warriors from Regional Health Command Atlantic did very well in the competition, but this competition was about more than winning medals.
I want to congratulate all the athletes, especially from the Regional Health Command Atlantic. We've been very, very well represented out here, and we've just had a marvelous time. I think the importance of Regional Health Command Atlantic and the Warrior Games is really to bring all the soldier athletes together to compete and to build camaraderie, but as well develop their adaptive reconditioning. And that's the purpose of this, to really have some fun and some competitive spirit out here. And I think we've accomplished that during the last 2 weeks of these games.
Every athlete who competed in the regional trials exhibited the characteristics that define a warrior.
The motivation, the team dynamic, the esprit de corps, the competitive nature that's shown is that of the warrior ethos. I mean, outstanding, and the families and the soldiers keep driving forward. I know that many may not be going back to their units. They may be going to transition to civilian life, but that same competitive drive, that same warrior ethos is going to make them successful in the civilian world that's made them successful here in the Army.
For the Regional Health Report, I'm Craig Coleman.
Regional Health Command Atlantic athletes won 141 medals, including 73 gold. The top athletes advanced to the Army trials, the qualifying event for the Department of Defense Warrior Games. The individual warriors each face health challenges they must overcome to return to active duty or transition into successful Army veterans in their communities. Next, we meet some of those warriors who are winners in more ways than one.
There are as many roads to the regional trials as there are wounded warrior athletes. Once they arrive, they quickly realize that they share similar goals.
I did the women's upright 20K cycling race, and I'm super proud, one, just to be a soldier, and two, to have the opportunity to be here. You know, we all come from different backgrounds, different MOSs, AOCs, and the team's really grown together in the short time that we've been here, and we're all here supporting each other. Fort Bragg's one of the loudest teams out here, and we're always, you know, yelling and cheering on our Flaming Armadillo cycling team, which is pretty cool. This is going to be a good enrichment for my life going back to my career. I work at the VA, and be able to take back all these experiences that I've had here and to show other soldiers and veterans that have transitioned out that, you know, there's life beyond the Army, and even if you got injured, there's plenty of things that you can do.
It's very weird to be the patient and be in transition. It makes me reevaluate how I want to go back and treat patients when I go back, and how I want to, you know, motivate them. This platform to be here is an amazing opportunity. Super excited for all the people that I've met and the futures that they have, whether they're transitioning back to the Army or transitioning to civilian life.
I had a benign tumor that caused muscle damage and some bone erosion. So for me to overcome that, it's a 12 to 18 month process, and I know these guys out here, they also have these lifelong injuries. You know, I couldn't do it without everyone's support. The camaraderie around with all the athletes here has been tremendous, and it's definitely helped my recovery and definitely helped me moving forward. Since I've been at the WTB, I've been able to do adaptive sports such as wheelchair basketball, tennis, seated volleyball. When we were doing the field events, I had never thrown a shot put or a discus before. So doing all the motions and making sure that I learned it from the start, you had to really accelerate, your learning and try to imitate what it was they provided for you. It's not easy trying to recover from this illness and injury, but at the same time, you're surrounded by a lot of great people. It really helps.
In the end, recovery is winning.
That's the Regional Health Report. Join us next month for another show highlighting healthcare across the region. In the meantime, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and iTunes. Thanks for joining us.